After years of some pretty serious diplomatic friction, two major economies are hitting a giant reset button. And their ambition? It's huge. So, let's get right into it. This is the story of India and Canada's new $50 billion trade deal.
Just look at that number, $50 billion. I mean, wow. That's the target India and Canada have set for their trade, and they want to hit it by 2030. Now, this isn't just a small bump. We're talking about a complete reimagining of their whole economic relationship. So, you gotta ask, right? How on earth do two countries quintuple their trade in just a few years, especially when the relationship was, let's be honest, in a deep freeze not too long ago? How do you pull that off? Well, let's break it down. Okay, first up, let's really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this thing, because calling it a target doesn't quite do it justice. It's more like a massive, high-stakes bet on the future. And this chart really paints the picture, doesn't it? Look at that gap. Right now, trade between the two is sitting at just over $8.5 billion. To get to that $50 billion mark by 2030, well, that's not just a step, it's a monumental leap. Yeah, let's be super clear here. This is a more than 5 times expansion in less than a decade. And look, both governments are being realistic. They know this can't happen without some serious heavy lifting. We're talking big structural reforms, slashing tariffs, and getting rid of all the red tape that slowed things down for years. So why now? To really get why they're making this big bet right now, you have to look at what just happened. Because this huge economic push is coming right on the heels of some pretty serious diplomatic tension.
Okay, so check out this timeline. Just back in 2023, the relationship basically went into a deep freeze over a pretty intense political dispute. But then, things changed, and fast. By March of 2026, there was a total reset. And that reset came with a hard deadline. Get this massive trade deal. It's called the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or CEPA for short, signed by the end of the year.
And really, the big turning point was when Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney visited New Delhi in March 2026. Think about this. It was the first visit of its kind in 8 years. That sent a huge signal. It was a move away from what Indian officials used to call just episodic transactions to a genuine strategy for deep, long-term partnership. And this quote from Sanjay Kumar Verma, who used to be India's High Commissioner to Canada, just nails it. He called it a second chance to build something that lasts, something durable, especially with everything else shifting and changing on the world stage. It's a perfect way to put it.
All right, so what's actually inside this big trade deal? What are they agreeing on? Let's pop the hood and take a look.
So, at its most basic level, it's about playing to each other's strengths, where the two economies really complement one another. India wants to export more things like pharmaceuticals, iron, steel, and electronics, and Canada, well, they're a huge supplier of stuff India needs, like pulses, coal, fertilizers, and crude oil. It just makes sense.
But, and this is super important, this deal is about so much more than just goods. It's not some old-school agreement just about filling up shipping containers. The real game changer here is the focus on modern, strategic industries.
And here's what we're talking about. Deep collaboration in IT and services. Clean energy, which is massive. And check this out, critical minerals. Those are absolutely vital for all the tech of the future. Plus, you've got advanced manufacturing and agriculture in there too. This is literally a blueprint for what a 21st century economic partnership should look like. Okay, so this brings us to the really big question. Why? Why this deal and why put the pedal to the metal right now? Well, the answer is just as much about geopolitics as it is about dollars and cents. And let's be clear, for Canada especially, this is a major strategic play. It's all about creating new options in a world where, frankly, the old economic rules just don't feel so certain anymore. And this quote, this one gets right to the heart of it. Again, this is from Sanjay Kumar Verma's analysis. He says, Canada's overwhelming economic dependence on the United States has become a strategic constraint. And his conclusion? Diversification is no longer optional. Wow, that's a powerful statement. So you see the picture, right? With trade dynamics in North America constantly shifting, Canada has a massive incentive to find other major partners. And who do you turn to? Well, India, the world's 4th largest economy, is a pretty obvious and powerful answer.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What does this all mean? And what are the big things we need to watch out for as this whole thing moves forward?
Honestly, if you look at the history, there's one really big risk here: political friction. The fear is that political spats could spill over and just completely derail all this incredible economic momentum. It's a pattern that has happened before, and it's one both sides are desperate to break this time around. So what's their big idea to stop that from happening? It's something they're calling institutional architecture. Basically, the plan is to build these high-level groups, like a revived CEO forum, that are specifically designed to protect the economic stuff from the political stuff. Think of it like building firewalls, so that trade and business can keep going even if the diplomats are having a rough day.
And that leaves us with the final $50 billion question, doesn't it? Both India and Canada are betting big that they can build an economic relationship that's strong enough to weather any political storm. But can this new institutional architecture really do the job? Can it protect this incredible ambition when the next political storm, and there's always a next storm, inevitably hits?